So I've been a Christian for most of my life, and I've always loved Jesus. I love the fact that Jesus loves me. Right. I very much appreciate how caring he is, and what he does for me, my friends, my family, and everybody in the world really. But early on as a Christian, there's one thing that, and as a person, there's one thing that I was really missing, and that was a true passion. I knew what the word meant, and I knew the idea behind it, but I had never had a point in my life where I actually had a passion deep down for something. Um, but that all changed when I joined a book club with some Malone students. I was not going to Malone, but a professor there started the club, and my brother invited me. I don't even like to read, so I don't know why I joined it, but for some reason it happened. And we started reading a book called The Good News About Injustice. The Good News About Injustice is about this guy, and his experiences as an attorney for the United States government. In the very beginning of the book, he's talking about walking around mass graves where genocide had taken place. And he's talking about looking down into the grave and seeing men, women, children, and he's just trying to process it in his head because this is a normal day of work for him. But he's also trying to process it as a human, as a Christian, and he's thinking about how all these people are parts of families, right? They're friends of people. They're mothers, brothers, sisters, fathers. And he talks about how a week later he was back in the States and he's on a subway. And on the subway, there's a guy across from him reading a newspaper. And he looks at the newspaper that the guy is reading, and he notices that there's this small little 2 by 2 square inch splur in it about this genocide that's taken place in this other country. And he's talking about how surreal it felt to be there on the ground and see it and experience it, and then come right back and realize that Americans, just to most of us, it's just a news story of people that we don't know, that are from a place that we couldn't even point out on a map. Throughout the book, he's talking about all the atrocities throughout the world and how we can make a difference against these atrocities. As we're reading the book, we're talking about it, discussing it as Christians, and I think I was the first one to ask everybody in the group, so guys, what are we going to do about this? And there was this fire that was starting to burn in my heart, this desire to want to help these people, to want to help people that are less fortunate than us, to make sure that these people aren't forgotten and aren't just in a 2 by 2 little news article and then that's it, they're just glossed over. And I was actually kind of disappointed. I was upset at the book club because they're like, oh, this is great that you have inspiration from this, and I'm thinking, where's your inspiration? Like, we have to do something about this. Where's everybody's inspiration? So right away, I started doing research. I found out about Compassion International, and I started supporting my first Compassion child, started writing letters, sending money over to her. And this was the first time in my life where I realized that I had a passion, and I could actually relate with passion and what it meant. So even to this day, I am saving up money to go on a trip to another country to help people. I don't know what that'll look like yet, but it's still in my heart today, just as strong. I still get just as frustrated with Americans that they gloss over these stories, and it's just something that's really changed my life. And it was something that changed that I didn't even, in the beginning I didn't even realize I was missing out on passion. I didn't realize I didn't have it until I finally got it. This book has left such an impact on me that to this day I have reoccurring dreams of going to a third world country and just running through villages and grabbing all the babies, grabbing all the kids, and just running off with them and saving them from whatever slavery or prostitution or whatever they're trapped in. I don't know how realistic that is because I would probably get shot, and if I didn't, it's probably illegal to steal children. But at the same time, that's the impact that this book has left on me. That I have dreams of wanting to help kids, help people that are less fortunate than myself. I definitely recommend that every American leave the country at least once a year to get a grander perspective of life on this earth. And I also encourage people to read the book, The Good News About Injustice.